Hey, what's up? It's your boy Paul Brentley. We're gonna get into the Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 12, episode 16. It starts off with Kyle and Dorit riding somewhere. So they talking about what happened at Lisa's disco party for her Lisa Beauty. And they were talking about Sutton as usual and stuff. So they're talking about that, and then they also talked about Erica. Did they talk about Erica? No, they talked about Lisa. They talked about Lisa and Lisa grieving and stuff and all that other stuff. But they talked about Sutton the most. And during talking about Sutton, like Sutton quirks and everything else, and Kyle Derek was like, Sutton don't know how to really articulate herself when she be speaking, and that's a lie. Sutton Sutton is very intelligent, very smart, and she's very calculated how she speaks to these women, and she cuts them down, and they don't like it, and they can't take what she says, and so really, Derek, you really can't articulate how you really feel, and Cal can't either. So y'all two people that want to talk about somebody and how they speak and come off to people, they quirky and all this other stuff. No, that's y'all, because y'all are straight bullshitters, and y'all bullshit around the question or the problem without really giving a real answer to to all the madness. But we move on. So Derek, like, I don't want her to feel like we jumping her or anything. So I'm gonna be more supportive and more supportive in everything. So I'm like, okay, yeah, Derek, just shut up. We're gonna keep it moving. So we move on from there. We're gonna move on to Garcelle. So Garcelle and Diana meets up. Diana come over to Garcelle's house, so they meet up to hang out to get to know each other a little bit better. Diana shows up with her dress on backwards because apparently they after Lisa's party they end up some of the ladies end up going to some some club or whatever in Beverly Hills and ended up getting wasted. And so she still got a slight hangover, and so yeah. And so she's still a little wasted. So they sitting down, they chit chatting, talking, getting to know each other a little bit more. As they doing that, Garcelle asked or something, and I can't remember what it was. But we're gonna move on from there. So Diana ended up saying that if Sutton was there right now, while as they've been getting to know each other and stuff, right now at at that moment, that that wouldn't have had happened because Sutton would have been interfering, and I believe that's a lie because Sutton does not interfere with anybody getting to know anybody. Because what's the point? If you really wanted to get to know Garcelle, you would have tried to get to know her since day one, but you have not tried to get to know Garcelle, Diana, and I don't know why, but who knows? But you already made your assumption about Sutton, and that's because Lisa Rinna, and I will actually say Crystal, because you are friends with them too. Period. Prior to the show, so it doesn't matter. You already made your assumption for her, and because Garcelle actually defends her friend and does not let them attack her in the way that they want to attack her, it's an issue, and you don't like that. So we gonna move on from there. So we move on to Garcelle asking her, so why you not gonna stay in one of the houses? And she said, Diana ended up saying that because you may think that it's weird. You may think it's weird because she gets a spiritual cleaning of every place that she actually stays in. And so yeah, I'm like, okay. And Garcelle in her confession like, okay, I would like to do that one. I would like to do at least once. Try that one time, but okay. For each, you can do what you want. It's like she got the money for it. Do what you want. You want to spend your money on that? Go ahead. Cause I said, but for me, it ain't helping you. Cause you the one with the bad energy. So let's really figure this out. Cause it's like you cleansing the room and you cleansing every room in the place, but it's you, Diana, with the bad energy. You are the bad energy. Figure that out. But you cleanse, you getting the whole room cleansed of all negative energy. But you have the negative energy. You are the source of negative energy. Figure it out, ho. But we're gonna move on. We move on to so after that we move on to Lisa. Lisa at home with Harry and they going through some of her mom's stuff. And, you know, it was okay seeing. Don't really care. I said I really love Miss Lois. Miss Lois was fun. I enjoyed getting to know her over these years. She was a delight. Her daughter is not. And I don't know how she dealt. Lisa Renner don't make sense. Because if you're mourning for your mom, you wouldn't be doing the stuff that you're doing. You wouldn't be putting up with this mess. You wouldn't be doing any of this instigate, any of this bullshit that you're doing on this show if you're really mourning over your mother. But you're going to do what you do because you're a cold-hearted bitch. Plain and simple. That's what you are. That's who you are. And that's what you're going to always be. Cold-hearted bitch. But, Miss Lois, God rest your soul. You resting now. We moving on. So we move on to Carol's house. So Carol at home with her Carol at home with Mauricio, and so Mauricio ended up telling her that he's coming on the trip because he don't want to miss out on the snow. So yeah, he going on the girl. So he coming on the girl trip and everything. So yeah. So the house situation going on. The people that's gonna be staying with Cal and Mauricio is gonna be Erica and Lisa and Kathy. And the other people who are gonna be staying in the other house will be Crystal, Sutton, Sharif, Duran, and Garcelle. They're gonna be staying in the other house. Them are the arrangement, and Diana be at a hotel. So that's what's going on the trip. So as all the ladies are packing up for the trip and everything. They show Garcelle at home, packing and whatever, and they show her calling Sharif. So she calls Sharif, and she don't have a she calls Sharif, and Sharif at home trying to find her wig. Trying to find her good wig. Trying to find one of her good wigs, and she ended up showing the robe, and the robe looked like it's been a tornado that hit it, like literally hit it, and I was like, "Oh, girl, ooh, no, you should, that's, girl, you got all that money, and it looks like that, But we move on. So Garcelle ended up telling her about Erica and whatever, and told her that she said what happened at the disco thing and everything else and all that stuff, and told her that so she said I did something about it. I stopped unfollowing her, and so she went whatever. She went if she was on fire, I wouldn't even put water out. I wouldn't put water on her. I wouldn't pour water on her to put her out. Like, damn. That's a little harsh. But, bitch, I wouldn't either. Because that hoe don't need it. Like, shit. All the shit she didn't do, all the shit she do to people that she call her friends, and the ones that you should be trying to be friends with who will actually help your ass, because the ones that you got as your friends ain't helping you. But you know, so Sharif like, girl, you should at least spit on her. Bitch, spit on her, girl, please. So we move on from there. They end up showing Crystal. Crystal ended up being at home. She ended up seeing an article of come out with saying that the trustee article saying that the trustee wanted Erica to turn over some 750K earrings. Yes, that she would not turn over. So Crystal ended up calling Garcelle. And when she called Garcelle, Garcelle was at work. She was at work on the Real. And Garcelle told her, ended up telling Crystal that, you know, yeah, that's one of the, we do hot topics, and that's one of the hot topics that came up on the docket today. And I had to talk about it and stuff. And she's like, you know, said if she should have just, she could have gave it back, because that could have paid some of the victims. Actually, it could have, but she don't have to. She don't have to get that money back. That's why it's going through legal process. That's what legal process is for. It's not for you to, it's not, she don't have to give back nothing. I said they already took everything. It's like she got out of the house. When she moved out with what she could. And she moved out with what, all the stuff that majority of what he bought her, and most of the stuff was what she had bought with her own money. So they didn't sold everything else. So at the end of the day, they saying these earrings are supposedly what it is, but we don't know. So that's what the legal process is for. So yeah, that's what happened there. So we on the trip. So so we move on. We in Aspen now. So the ladies are all there. They drop Diana off at the hotel. We got the ladies at the different houses and stuff, and then we got the ladies meeting up all at Kyle's house for dinner. Kathy ended up showing up. She got in. She been only up for about 3 hours and stuff, so she like kind of really, she's totally tired and everything. So she came in with flip flops, the hotel flip flops and everything, and stuff like that. So Kathy was going, you know, like Kathy was being Kathy. You know, wear the silverware, wear this, wear that, wear this, that, and the third, and she wanted the corn on the grill and stuff. And Crystal didn't put the corn on the grill, so when they gave her the corn, they boiled the corn. So the corn, when Kathy ate the corn, when she sat down and ate it, she went, this corn ain't done. Because they could have just cooked it on the grill. It's going to take a little bit longer, but it would have been some done corn. It's like, I'm with Kathy. Shit, I can wait long for the corn. Oh, God. But, you know, we move on from there. So after that, after everybody eating whatever, so they sitting down just, you know, relaxing. So Lisa come down from her room with a Ouija board. So half of the ladies gonna play the Ouija board and half of them not. As they playing the Ouija board, punk ass Kyle started being messy and started saying, why did Garcelle unfollow Erica on social media, asking a Ouija board and stuff like that. And so, and so when that happened, Garcelle, so it ended up starting some drama. So Erica was in her confession. Erica said, "Why, Kyle? Why?" She went, "I am 50." She said, "I'm 50. I'm 51, or she said 50 or 51, whatever." She went, "I don't got time." She went, "I don't have time for this." She went, "I don't care about the social media." She went, "It don't bother me." So Cal then started some bullshit, and as they going and whatever, Um, this is when some stuff went down with her, Erica, and Garcia. So it brought up so on the plane there, Kyle asked Sutton about her unfollow because they both Sutton and Garcia unfollow Erica, and Sutton said like it was just an inside joke between me and Garcia, and Garcia said it was an inside joke between me and her, so it's an inside joke between them. Who cares? And Kyle acting like, you need to be 100% honest here, this and that. Be truthful. Bitch, you ain't never been truthful since day one of this show. So ho, don't sit here and act like, oh, this, that, and the third. I said because unfollowing somebody does not mean a motherfucking thing, to be honest. It only means something because you the stupidest one in the group. You ain't in high school. But we move on. So this causes some Erica and stuff. It's caused them to get into it. So Garcia said the reason why I unfollowed her and everything else, I unfollowed her because she lied. She called me a liar. Garcia said she called me a liar, and she went. So I unfollowed her. So that's what I put it. So I was fed up with it, and I was done with all the shit. So I unfollowed her. So I did something about it. And Erica went, okay, but you Erica's stuttering shit. And so at that they going a little bit, and this when Garcia said, Erica, we don't have to be friends. And Erica, she was shocked by that bitch. Yes, you would. She was shocked. And she was like, okay, that's alrighty. She ain't, we don't have to be friends. She went, okay, that's fine. And stuff. So that ended that. And so here it goes. So Sutton was like, Sutton said, I have an issue. Sutton said, I have a problem. So y'all any of y'all stood up when Erica called me the C word. And this is when ugly lip face Lisa Renner said, why should we? Bitch, why shouldn't you? You don't want nobody else to call you the C word. And when I found out what that was, I was like, ugh. Like, ugh. Like, all you hoes should have said something to that bitch when she said that to her. Because that is disgusting. You don't say that to somebody. At all. At all. Literally. That bitch said that. So, they like, yeah, so Sutton was like, none of y'all stood up for me. None of y'all said anything to her for saying that. And that's when punk ass, ugly face, lip licking Diana said, you are one. Bitch, shut the fuck up with your dumb ass. And then, like, Garcia went, what? What you say? I said she is one. And Garcia said, no. Garcia said, don't say that. Do not say that. Do not call her that. Do not. And so this is when Diana started going in. Diana started saying, like, she comes at me. She came at me. I was bleeding. Bitch, you wasn't bleeding, bitch. You wasn't bleeding. I was bleeding. I was on the floor. When I was at Garcia party, she came at me and asked me why I was there. Bitch, why was you there, ho? Why was you there if you was on bed rest? If your doctor said you was on bed rest and you sent through the group text message details saying all the stuff that you went through after the trip to Mexico, saying you gotta be on bed rest and you would not be making it to Garcia party, and your dumb ass show up. How you sound stupid, and you gonna show up and you thought she wasn't gonna check your ass because you came at her friend and got her friend name wrong and all this stuff and disrespectful. So she came at you and told you, bitch, why you here? if you supposed to be on bed rest. And when she said, bitch, bed rest did you good. Bitch, it sure did do you good because, bitch, you wasn't bleeding that night when you showed up. With that attitude and all. Acting a plump fool. But she going at it, she came at Sutton so bad that this part really pisses me off because I'm actually mad at Garcelle and I'm mad at Sharif. Because y'all are friends with Sutton. And Sutton's sitting there. Sutton is so pissed and so mad. And this is when punk ass, stupid ass, bitch ass Kyle, like, Sutton, you can defend yourself. Bitch, shut the fuck up. You started all this shit. All of it. You started that whole motherfucking thing with your bullshit. Don't tell her you can defend yourself, bitch. No. Let this bitch Diana bury herself. I'm mad at Garcia and I'm mad at Cherie because y'all should have said something to her when that bitch opened her mouth and said, oh, she was bleeding and this and that. I would have checked that bitch down to the motherfucker, down to her bleeding ass pad. Her so-called bleeding that she said she was on the floor doing. Cause I don't get it. This woman wasn't coming out to you. This woman asked you a simple question. Why you was there? If you supposed to be on bed rest. Because I didn't know why you was there either. If you supposed to be on bed rest. So that means you weren't supposed to be on that Mexico trip if you supposed to be on bed rest. But this hoe performed her ass off. And it was deadly sad. Sutton sitting there pissed to the world. And so that hoe ass Diana and them hoe ass bitches get up. And Diana, I'm leaving. I'm going to my hotel. And so she leaves. Erica walks her out. Lisa goes and walks her out too. And as she going down them crocodile tears, bitch, shut your dumb ass up. Always look at your motherfucking lips. And Sutton over there crying and stuff. And I'm like, you got Garcelle over there consoling her and whatever. Kyle over there fake ass trying to console. Girl, shut up. Get away. She need to be saying, get away from me. I'm like, that was so sad and so, that was not called for. And Garcelle and Sharif, y'all could have stopped all that. Because I would have checked her and all them hoes. Down the line. Every single one. And Derek, if you was supposed to gonna be so supportive to her, you should have checked that bitch right then and there. Because you said you was gonna be more supportive to Sutton. And you did not be supportive to that woman at all. But that's all that happened on this episode. That's where it ended. Like, subscribe, comment, share on all social medias. It's your boy Paul Brantley. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I'll get back at y'all later. Holla.